Acclaim is critical, though this game is getting difficult. Check my peripheral vision to monitor these criminals. To my stated decisions and switch up all my rituals. Tailor making provisions in cases this shit get difficult. Hammers and bangers, I'm tucking balls like planes and hangers. I'm running with clicks and strangers that get stranger when they anger. My people by tropic, they harness heat like solar optics. They radiate in the medieval with thunder in their pockets. If paper's the topic, movements become as microscopic as any virus that enters your system.
This is the Hip Hop Advocate Show. Your man Figs.
Then our music
and the rap.
You know, we represent Queens. She was raised down in Brooklyn. Tonight we're going to Brooklyn tonight. You know what I'm saying? Next guest. Def Squad, artist, BBC, Boot Camp, Click affiliate. Yo, this brother, man, he's a true MC. That's what we love. We love the true MCs. We love the art of MCing.
The bars.
My man's got joints with Flushing's mayor, you know, Royal Flush, Rock, a.k.a. rest in peace, Sean P.
Big Daddy
Kane. You know what I'm saying? Helter Skelter. Yo, the list goes on, man.
A lot of legends, man.
Yo.
Dudes, that
tonight
goes
we
to say a lot.
We rocking with a hip hop advocate. Yo, Mic Handz with us tonight. What's up, brother?
First of all, there's a lot of homework been done. I appreciate that. I'm like, word? Like, when
I do that?
He did. Two, we gonna fix the BBC and we gonna get the BCC because that's Pornhub and I ain't got no BBCs happening.
My man said BBC.
Can't do that.
You been watching too much porn,
kid. Hashtag no Pornhub.
Yo, let me clear my history right.
Clear that Google search.
Incognito screen.
Hey, yo, let me clear that history right. Hey, yo,
my history is flagrant. I ain't gonna lie.
Man,
that was a big pause.
Just go to Google fresh. Don't go to try to find nothing else.
Yo, Mike Handz, so we're gonna get right.
Lithuanian midgets, but what happened?
We're gonna get right into it, brother.
Talk to me.
This is a long time coming. We had Rhino over here, and
Rhino.
We seen you guys were cool, and anything that Rhino does is hip hop. So we heard your name throughout the industry already, but then we seen the connection, and we had to get you over here. Yo, how do you fall in love with hip hop? The viewers need to know.
Well, first and foremost, shout out Gorilla Grooves and all that. They always show mega love, hella in it. Like you ever have somebody you just enjoy getting interviewed by? Rhino would be that. Fall in love with hip hop.
That's a fun dude, right?
Be honest with you, I think I've been in deep, passionate like with hip hop. Right? I fell in love with creative. I fell in love with MCing. I fell in love with writing. The culture is sometimey and flaky. A hoe of some sorts, right? Like, she fuck with everybody. In some way, shape, fashion, or form. She has absolutely no loyalty at all. But we have an understanding. And through that understanding, I've been able to feed my kids. I've been able to see this world in places I might not have never gone. I get to, I'm a mental health advocate. I work in that space. That's what I do. 80 hours out the week. So hip hop was my therapy. Hip hop wasn't even like a choice. It became a necessity for me because it gave me a voice louder than the one I had, and it was bigger than the things I was going through. So, I think my love of hip hop might not be what everyone else's is. I think my love of hip hop is more so from caregiver standpoint. Like, I feel like hip hop took care of me, and I think from that version, your mom's a hoe. It's cool, but she never let you go hungry, never left you outside, and never changed the locks on you. You know what I mean? But that's about it. I understand it has to be a detached relationship, because if not, I'd be really upset with how people handle her. I'd be out here trying to kill everybody that rhyme funny, or like Sean would say, that wear weird sneakers and try to rap. So I can't take it that personal. I take the culture personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, the culture of hip hop, not as much the art of. The art of is just, that's very anecdotal. That's just my version. But overall, nah. I don't really get into those conversations, but I love the culture. So yeah.
And when would you say that you really got into it? Started rhyming?
I started rhyming. All right, so my first deal situation happened in the 6th grade, right? I was a singer. I sang before I could rhyme. And I was in a boy group. That's back when, all right, we grown. Back when the boys, Dial My Heart and all that was going on. So we was in a group called Visions, me and a couple of my god brother and a couple of friends. And my god brother's boyfriend, Seville. Shout out Seville. Yo, he thought he was Michael Jackson Pops. So he had us every Saturday going to vocal training, and after we finished our homework, we had to put an hour in every day, and we was tearing my god brother Aunt Mother house up, like moving the furniture and all that. But we got to do some things, and we got a situation. So around the 8th grade, there was a clause in our situation: if our collective grade point average dropped below a certain, it would kill the deal. And ironically, you always got that one friend that you're absolutely loyal to, but he is not the talent. Mm-hmm. He know the steps though, so it looked good out there. But turn his mic all the way down, right? And but that's our brother. Like, we not going to play ball without him, even though he missed every shot. He coming. Like, you already know that's the 5, and he's the one that kind of tanked and pulled all our averages down. So what happens is, moving forward, my man Aaron Vera and my other man Chris Marshall, shout out Aaron and Chris, they was like, yo, we starting a rap group. You gonna rap? I'm like, I do not rap. I sing. Now, if you want me to do choruses, I didn't even know what hooks were called. I'm like, if you want me to do choruses for you, I can do choruses, but I'm not rapping. Nah, you gonna rap? Come on. And we went to Chris Marshall House on Fort Hamilton Army Base that evening after school. Went straight over there, and they taught me to rap, and they helped me write my first verse. And upstairs, we downstairs desecrating hip hop, like we sound terrible, but upstairs, you could hear Chaos and Mass Confusion, which was his older brother, and who went on to his older brother Dre, and Lee, who went on to become Babyface Chaos from the Bush Babies, right? So they're upstairs rapping for real, and we downstairs trying to
fucking around.
Trying to figure it out,
trying
right?
to catch up.
So eventually we got that first rap done. We ain't never did not no shows. We robbed the studio. There's a lot of hijinks that went wrong with that, but that's how I started. And after that, I just kind of fell in love with it and kept going. Like, I fell in love with that. Like I said, the creative
part of it.
Yeah, and the fact that I did it. Like, wait a minute. Because when I was singing covers and songs people gave you, but I did that. Like,
it felt
I'm
different.
saying what I wrote,
Yeah, it felt different.
Yeah.
You were really expressing yourself.
Terrible fucking bars. Terrible rap. But
that you were letting loose when you were writing on that paper, like you were writing your own words, your own feelings.
Yeah, every now and then when I perform, I pull that verse out with the story and tell them about it. But yeah, that was it.
You wrote a verse telling that story, like
no, I actually spit that verse.
Oh, your first rap?
The very first.
No, you remember it?
Yeah, at least I remember the first like 8 bars or so.
How it go?
That shit was called Unstoppable. It said, I'm unstoppable. Can't you see? There ain't a nigga alive who completely defeat me. I'm bad like Michael, yet I'm iron like Tyson. All you MCs, watch out, because I'll be icing your tail. I send you home in the mail like a letter. I'm fly right now, but I'm constantly getting better. I recite like a knight on the field of doom. Seeking MCs like a heat-seeking harpoon, a renegade. And that's all I remember. But yeah, that's the first one.
That's that 80s flow right there.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was crazy. And it was like 88, 89.
It's impressive though, man. Even though you can remember that from so far back.
Ask me why. Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Now ask me about something from 3 weeks ago. I'm lost. I gotta write it in my phone.
But from there to like mingling around with all the legends of hip hop, like that's crazy right there. How did that stuff for you?
Well, what's funny is, I'll be honest with you, for the first 2 years, I sound like Babyface Chaos, because at that time, fast forward about 2 years, now I'm doing it. That group gone. Now I'm still trying to figure out how to do it, right? Because I'm in it now. As like I said, they were upstairs. So Lee grew up hanging out on the same Army base that I ended up hanging out on for my whole junior high, early high school years. So I remember when the Ambushed album, their first album, was literally on a CD, and the track list was typed like with a typewriter. Wasn't no printer, no, it was typed with a typewriter. And yeah, but yeah, exactly. With the ding, that and you had to put the strip of white out in there to correct it, like hold it, click the I remember they came to the base with it. So now in my mind, they had just signed a warning. I didn't even understand what that meant, but I just know that my friend got a record deal. Like they about to come out with a record. So one night we at the base. He lived in Flatbush, the Bush Babies for obvious reasons. I lived in Flatbush. So at the time, I was about 15, 16, and he was about 17, 18. So I would normally just go and come on my own. It's about 9, 10 at night or something, headed home. And he was like, yo, I'm leaving, just hold up. And he walked with me, right? So we go as far as Atlantic Avenue, Barclay, on the R, and then I'll take the Q train or the D train home, and he'll go to the number trains to go to his side of town. And on that train ride, he taught me 3 words I'll never forget: diction, delivery, and cadence. Those are 3 words he taught me. Cause he started the conversation. I hear you rapping. I'm like, of course you ain't excited for somebody that rap for real to hear you. I'm like, yeah, I'm rapping. He was like, well, let me hear something. And I spit it. He was like, I don't believe you. I'm like, what? He's like, I don't believe you. I'm like, what you mean? He said, yo, you gotta live your rhyme. Like, I don't believe nothing you saying.
Yeah.
Right? And even though I ain't have nothing to rap about. Like, I'm just putting words together. But still, like, he was just like, nah. That's when he taught me cadence, diction, and delivery. So the only reference I had was him, right? So next thing you know, for the next 2 years, all my raps is high-pitched and sounding like Chaos from the Bush Babies until I finally leveled into my own flow and my own voice. Yeah, word.
Shit, that's crazy, fellas. My man, Figs, you always ask the one question about the name, how they got the name.
Mic Handz.
So as I mentioned earlier, my name off camera, my name originally was Real Thorough, right? And shit, if you want to go all the way back, it was Dr. Death in the 5th grade, right? DRD, right? Dr. Death. Then after that, I was in a group called Hidden Agenda. My name was Anonymous, and I really used to perform with a Jason mask hanging off the back of my jeans. Don't ask me about that. Like I was anonymous, but never put the mask on. That was so wild, right?
Shit, yeah. Some real 90s shit.
So then, and actually, yeah, this is like 93, 92, performing at the Arc in Brooklyn and all that. So then, when I was about 21, 20, my man RM Des, a.k.a. Private Benjamin, a.k.a. Kip Stachio, a.k.a. Justin Credible.
He had as many names as you at that point.
The fact that his name was Justin, last name Credible, was the illest thing. This is before Kim Possible. Like, this was the illest thing ever. So I'm like, yo, I need one of those. Like, I need something like that. Or like, he was like, back then I was smoking. Yo, son, I need something like that. It's crazy right there. How you get that? He need one of those. He was like, yeah, hold on, give me a minute. Smoking. He just went into like this trance. You know when somebody go up in the left side of their head, you think thinking. You just see his eyes shoot over here. He's like, you say, yo, son. I'm like, what? He was like, yo, how about Michael Handler? I'm like, the fuck that mean? He was like, nah, like Mic Handz for sure, Mic Handler for sure, microphone handler. And I'm like, oh, it's not even like a name, it's like a description. He was like, yeah, Michael Handler, microphone handler. I'm like, all right. So the first song I wrote, the first hook I wrote with it was, you fucking with the microphone handler, microphone hand, Mr. Microphone hand, Mr. Microphone. So that's kind of what I worked with. And then I'm like, yo, I could do this. So it started with Mic Handler. Then in 2014, I killed him. So if you look at the cover, the Dead Man Walking mixtape, I'm sitting on the cover like this, and my vein is cut, and Mic Handler is bleeding out. So it was the death of Mic Handler, birth of Mic Handz. And then I ran from there with Mic Handz. So you see the name on all the mixtapes after that change. So yeah, that was about 6 in. That was like the 6th one.
Wow. That's a dope flip right there.
Yeah. Shout out Kip Stachio.
More names than my man Figs.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, like I said before, I was like, yo, I could picture an image of you with actual mics as your hands.
I'll holler at Scam. You heard that?
That's an ill fucking image right there to put out.
The artist in my life, dude. All you gotta do is conjure it, and between Scam 2, Christian over in they call them Confused Art over in Germany. I have Rob Tillman here, and my man Shay up in Canada. And I've been a graphic artist for almost 30 years, and if they willing to do the work, I don't touch nothing. Them boys is savages. Like, you just tell them what you think, and then they just spit it out like AI. It's crazy. Or
yeah, you don't want to have too many cooks in the kitchen. If you already got somebody that's creative.
But that's my arsenal, because let me tell you the truth. With my graphic business, I'm about to let the cat out the bag. I don't do almost no work no more. When people hire me, Torture Nature Media Labs, I almost don't have to touch nothing, because depending on the style you want, I show you our portfolio. My stuff is in there. And you're like, I want something like that. That tells me who to call. Whatever the number is, we got a set rate that we work at. They get paid off the top. The rest go back into the brand. We keep working. So I don't even touch art.
What's the name of that? What's the name
Tortured
of that?
Nature Media Labs. Yeah.
Oh, put that on the bottom right there.
Yeah, the whole concept behind it was, we'll get into the mental health part of the conversation, but my trauma is the reason I do everything. And I don't mean trauma like there's anybody I could blame. I just think trauma is another word for impact. And most people lose that part. It has such a negative connotation to it that when you say trauma, it's an activity, action, or occurrence that impacts and changes the navigation of your path.
Yeah.
But we just automatically assume, just like when we hear mental health, we automatically assume it's negative. Yeah. Right? Mental health and physical health ain't really much different. When you go to the doctor, they don't always say you dying. They don't always say you messed up. Majority of the time, they're like, you good, just drink more water or whatever. You don't see them again to the next checkup unless you got something going on. But when you say mental health, the first thing people think, crazy illness, so on and so forth. Like and the truth is, sometimes your mental health could be in a very good place. I'm good, I'm clear, I'm focused, I'm moving, right? And people don't leave room for that. So that Tortured Nature, the name, came because most of my creativity comes when I go inside myself, because I'm retreating from the world, and I deliver work that way. So, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I kind of go inside and pull from inside. So yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, definitely mental health, man. It's very important, especially in our community. Like you said, the first thing you mentioned, mental health, they think it's crazy. Oh, you crazy. I want to see a therapist. Oh, you crazy. I'm not crazy. I don't need to see a therapist, but life happens. Anything in life, what I'm saying, dealing with a death, dealing with, kids, dealing with a spouse, anything.
First of all, I'm going to tell you, in the world that we live in, you better have a therapist somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't care if you call it your best friend, your girl, somebody, your uncle, your aunt, or a licensed therapist. And the reason I say that is, forget what you got going on in your personal life. Let's talk about life we share. Go through your Instagram. Every 3-4 scrolls is traumatic. You seeing somebody get shot. You seeing somebody get ran over.
Or some BBCs.
But you seeing some BBCs.
BBLs.
Very the BBL. No, you seen the BBL fall off, or flipping her drawers or something.
But
something just wow. Your ass somersaulted in your pants, right? So whatever it may be, you're hearing, seeing somebody missing, Amber Alert, something going on in
chaos,
between
right?
the funny memes that I don't know if you know, but it burns an impression in your mind.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, you've seen that now. You might as well have been there. And now when you're looking at these shootings, I could tell you the same thing a witness that was standing next to the camera could tell you.
Yeah.
Why did I live that? I was not there. I technically shouldn't have been eligible to experience that.
Yeah.
But you've brought it in my home.
Exactly.
Right? So we experience trauma every time we turn this damn thing on.
Yo.
Not even meaning to. We just doing this and we're racking up these mental impressions. So now when we have a conversation, you might slip up and talk about an incident or occurrence, not even realizing that it just bled into one of your real occurrences with something that you've seen on here that's embedded.
That Citizens app is horrible.
I had to delete
I took that
shit.
off immediately.
I had to delete that shit.
Immediately.
I had it for a couple of days and
I almost wasn't going to the store. I'm like, what?
Yo.
This shit getting too
I was
crazy.
like, yo, where do I live? In Gotham City?
Yeah,
Like,
this
what
around
the
the
fuck?
corner? Like,
What
Where's
the fuck?
Batman at?
Dead ass.
What the fuck's going on?
Dead ass. And I come from another era. I come from an era where there was none of that.
No pictures. No
Camera was every
Yo.
17 blocks. You had a camera with an ATM in every 17 blocks. All the ones. They was broke. They was decoy cameras. One plugged in, nothing.
Damn, you're right. You're right. We were just talking about that off air. Like, yo, even going on trips, like everybody posting everything. Like, you're not even enjoying the moment
Because you're a reporter.
you're a reporter.
Yeah. You're
Look at
the
my
cameraman and the actor.
Look what I'm doing. Look at my life. Yeah, my life is better than yours.
And I'm guilty. Because when it first started, I was on it. I used to be one of them, oh, son, that's my spaghetti. Click. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I really saying? You ain't got spaghetti? Like, what am I saying? Like, you should come here. They should be paying me. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
I think I remember you posting that. I'm like, yo, motherfuckers eating spaghetti. And I'm eating sardines.
Now, most of the time, when I post food, it's because I made it, right?
Yeah.
But that, and then we got a little hashtag, me and a couple of my homeboys do Men That Cook. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hashtag, Men Who Cook. So,
Men that cook?
Men Who Cook.
Men
Yeah,
who
so that's our little, me, Prince Poe,
Okay.
my man, the producer, Freedom Lyles, some of the other, the homeboys that I rock with that actually get in the kitchen, get busy. That's our little thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we do that. But you outside, shorty banging, you got a plate in front of you, you in here doing a full photo shoot with the food.
Wait, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
And that's exactly how it go.
But fellas, I wanted to get back a little
let's do
more
it.
to the music side of things.
Let's do it.
But to end that, mental illness, you said we definitely need somebody or something.
Absolutely.
And I think for us, and I can speak for myself, hip hop has been that for me. You know, I've been in situations where a loved one has passed, or I've seen someone get shot, stabbed, and I'm listening to Gravediggers. I'm listening to whoever. You know, I'm at that moment. I'm popping something in a CD or tape, and I'm just listening, and I'm curating myself.
If we're gonna get right to where you at, ironically, you speak of it. I'm fortunate and blessed enough to head up a committee within the mental health community called Healing Through Hip Hop. Yesterday, I just did a panel at a conference, a workshop at a conference with my team at NYU for the New York City Workers Peer Conference. I had Cool Kim from the UMCs, I had Special Ed, and I had Rockness come out to sit on my panel. And myself and some other certified mental health workers that are a part of the team do our presentation, and then we ended with a panel. When I tell you it's a powerful situation, because most people don't understand the intersection between hip hop and mental health, like you just mentioned. Sometime as someone that's a non-participant, you're not a creative, right? And I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying someone you spoke from the perspective of a consumer,
Right.
Someone that can take this body of work and connect with it so crazy that it can literally speak to them and answer questions that they can't find, because there's parallels in whatever the scenario, the subject matter is that relates to your moment, right? And it helps you in those spaces like a therapist, right?
Yeah.
As a writer, most of the trauma that happens and really bends people up is internalizing. They keep it to themselves. They keep it in and start to eat away at them.
Oh yeah, until
And
it
they can't get it
explodes.
out, right? Until it explodes. As an MC, I could write my problems. I mean, my father, my mother, whatever, I just said that because that's standard, right? But whatever the version, and I could put it on a beat that you love, and I can stand in front of 10,000 people and scream my problems at the top of my lungs, and you're going to sing them back to me.
It's amazing.
You're not going to judge me. You're not going to make me feel shamed. You ain't going to make me feel less than. You're going to celebrate my issues.
Yep.
And relate to that.
And the only reason you celebrate them and then that you know the lyrics is because you related to them. So I found my village. The fan of that song are the people I know I could have this conversation with the music off. Right? So I don't get to internalize. I get to yell it from the top of that proverbial mountain as loud as I could when they say scream in a pillow or go outside and just yell. I get to do that in front of 1,000 people, and they appreciate the fact that I'm standing here after it to tell you about it.
Wow.
Right? So there's so many parallels, but we'll get into that another time. I have to have y'all on the panel. Y'all dope.
Definitely, man.
And speaking of that, one major artist that really succeeded in that, within the personal traumas and all that, Eminem.
M too, yeah. M and X were the two most exposed artists I think I've ever heard in hip hop.
And open about their problems, and expressing it to everybody, and everybody taking it and
regurgitating it
right.
Back.
Yeah, exactly.
A little too dark at times, though.
I mean,
but that was their truth.
Yeah,
and
I never thought about killing my mother.
And they were both, or putting your baby mother in the trunk,
yeah, I know.
and letting the car sink. But listen, they were
pop the pillow too.
Yeah, and then come for the fan, right? But with that said, though, those happen to be two of the best-selling artists amongst ever. So think about how dark they went, because hell is hot, right?
Yeah.
And how many people related. Fan, people always forget what fan stands for. It's fanatic, right?
Fanatic.
So how many people are that enthusiastically dedicated to their source topics? Clearly these people relate. Yep. That's why you're my voice. You're saying what I'm too ashamed to say, or I can't say. But if I say it over your beat, they don't know I'm screaming about. He said, "Yo, mans think you stupid." Be like, so I love my baby mother. I'll never let her go. That shit hit me every fucking time I heard it.
Now that it's so funny. I want to ask you guys a question. Was he going at Eminem on that right there? It sounded like he made that.
I think that was a hood. That
reference,
was a made up. I think that was just a hood reference.
You think so?
But when I tell you it hit me, because I'm a step parent, along the way, and at that time I was navigating that space before my biologicals got in play, right? So here I am. Yeah, I know it's not, but I don't treat them like they not. But my mans know they not, though I still present them not like they not. So that shit always hit me. You dig what I'm saying? Like, damn. And I do be like, so I could fight though, but that used to be how I was. But
he ain't called Mic Handz for no reason.
I was so infamous for that line, apparently. But
bro.
my point being, it resonated because it hit so close, right? That damn, wow. That's what made them so ill.
Yep.
Right? So
relatable.
Yeah, man. Like that real Slim Shady song was so much deeper than people thought about. Like everybody, where's the other me at? That was actually what he was saying. I mean, like, I presented it like a song. Who really going through this? Crazy.
Yeah.
Talking about, you brought up a few greats, a few hip hop greats. We wanted to get back to the musical aspect. You got so many bodies of work, tons of awesome videos.
Appreciate it.
And we want to know what made Mic Handz who he is, the influences that you had.
Musically?
Musically. And right now I think it's time, fellas.
I think it's about that time.
Yo, it's time for the top 5, you heard? Mic Handz.
Greatest of all time. Check it out, y'all. Giving y'all the best.
As we go a little something like this.
Chaos from the Bush Babies, clearly. I told y'all how that part worked. There's no way I'd have got past that without that point. Then there's Big Daddy Kane.
How was that? You did a song with Big Daddy Kane.
I did. But I had a cheat code. So
what's the cheat code?
It's family. So my cousins are his first cousins.
Okay.
So I noticed I make that differentiation, that separation, because on one side of the family is me, on the other side of the family is them. But it was always love, right? Me and Shane were, because we were younger, and then Kane, Vic, Vern, all of them was doing their thing. So being able to be exposed to the family environments and the Chavez fights, we used to go to his pop's crib and all that.
And the Chavez fights.
Yeah, that's back when he was on 179th and Hillside in Queens, in case y'all want to fact check me. But one time we had a cipher there because I was going to stop. I was frustrated. Like, this rap shit. Nothing was happening. I ain't had no connections, no plugs, no nothing. I ain't had nobody to get no beats from at the time. Like I was just on some bullshit. But so we went over there for the Chavez fight, and it ended up being a cipher in his backyard. Me, a cat named Lenny, who went on to become an Uncle Murder. Nap,
Oh shit.
Ray Boo, Vic, who was Spectacular, and Kane. So we all out in the back rhyming. Kane rhyme, he gets kicked out. Not fair. Fuck out of here. Right?
You already got your
Yeah,
points.
just fuck out of here. You're showing off is what you're doing. So everybody else is rapping. Ends up becoming me and this kid, Nap, just going back and forth. Nap the homie too. But anyway, long story short, when we left, I think I was 22. When we left, King, I'm in the car with Vic and them, his cousins, and he tapped on the back window like, yo, Chris, how old are you? Cause my given name, Chris. Yo, Chris, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 22. He was like, yo, don't stop. You got something. So that made me, because remember, like I told you, I wasn't going to do this no more. Like I just was, fuck it. And when he said that, it was like, well, if you said that, then, right?
That's the affirmation you needed.
So there was that. Then Sean Price.
Yeah, Sean P.
Meantime,
video.
I'm still going on. Like, of course, this is, like, my inspirations didn't just happen when I was younger. You know what I mean? Like, in it, they were happening as I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And people that might have been in them slots didn't have as many personal moments that made someone else shift. Like the other ones were just general fan inspiration. Then you start to get more intimate friend inspiration that are more tangible, right? And one day I did this freestyle called Right Where You Stand over the Guru and Jadakiss joint. And I did a little video for it, dropped it, put it on Twitter and all that other stuff. And I get a phone call. Hey, yo, Slum, what's up? And I'm like, yeah, who this? He was like, it's Sean. I'm like, Sean who? It's P, nigga. Yo, I'm like, oh, yo, what up? Now I'm trying to figure out how the fuck you got my number, but I'm sure Rock gave it to him. He like, yo, that shit you just had on the timeline? Yo, that shit fire. You spit a body on that. Yo, remember that beat you sent me? Send it back. Let me do something. Now I forgot I sent him a beat. That's how he dubbed it. He dubbed the beat for Wild Long. That I forgot it. I didn't even know what beat he was talking about. I had to go back in the email. I'm like, yo, what's your email again? And search it.
Oh shit.
So I sent it back, and that became Stay Giving It Up, that record. And when we were doing the record, in the studio, he was like, yo, I know it took me a long time to do this, but I ain't gonna front. You wild cool, and it's hard to be friends with whack niggas. So I had to see what you was dealing with.
He had to see it firsthand.
He was like, it's hard to be friends with whack niggas. So you know.
Sometimes it takes that, man. You gotta, you gotta impress. Whether you really, even if you don't feel like you don't need to. Sometimes certain people, if you want to work with them, they want to see something different. Yeah, they want to get that out of them.
So now what's wild about that same session. So I'm a Decepticon, right? Clearly. And so are my boot camp family and some extended family.
I used to talk about the All-Spark a lot.
We do that. There's a lot of All-Spark references in the John references for sure. But he was like, yo, what legion you in? Tell your leader call me. You with me now. So I became a trigger con that day from where I was at.
You got traded.
Yeah, I got took.
You got
So like they say the musical cons are all with Sean. So it was myself, Rock, Quiet's Kept, Just Blaze, Pumpkinhead, so rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
All of us were trigger cons, so are.
I was feeling. I know you got a few joints with him, but there's one you got a video where there's a real funny concept where you're like, yo, I want to feature. Yeah. You just end up showing at his crib.
Yeah. That was Conceit is the video.
That's a great creative concept right there.
That's something we did on the spot too. We didn't know what we were gonna do. We had shout out Alter Beats. We had the cats that did it are from France, and they have shout out Bobby Six Killer. He shot the video. And he shot about 4 videos for me while he was here that they produced. And we just went and picked Sean up and figured it out on the ride to the crib. Just went for it
on the spot.
Yeah.
Sometimes ain't that like the best shit though? Like that kind of stuff, like just like spontaneous, and especially when it gets executed right. Sometimes it turns out to be the best shit.
How many did I give you?
That's
was that 3? Big Daddy Kane. What was your man's name?
So it's Kane, Chaos, Sean.
So we're on number 4.
Definitely G-Rap.
Ooh.
I mean,
On the Queen.
for sure. It was definitely G-Rap. Who, of course, I went on to become really good friends with, but
Yo, matter of fact,
I didn't
it was
know
his
him back
birthday
then.
today.
Was it?
Word, yeah, it is.
Shoot him a
Birthday
text.
today, yeah.
Like we just did something. Me, him, and Rakim. We just did a show up in Pittsburgh on May 5th. So it was good seeing him. But G-Rap for sure. Then there was Tretch, who also went on to become a good friend and collaborator. Like his speed and tongue twisting is kind of where I caught up with him at. Like him, and honestly, I know this might be borderline, but I'm gonna tuck him in the same frame between him and Chip Fu, because now I'm just reading my bio. Those two, because of the speed. I just thought this before Jay and I wasn't really paying attention to Jaz-O. That's my man too, but I wasn't really paying attention to Jaz-O and what Jay were doing as much as I was Chip Fu. I just thought the weight. I'm like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
How do you speed it up?
yeah, like, and I can understand what you're saying though, right? So it took a while. Then of course I attached myself to Jay Energy when he was doing it, but in Jazz. But those were the ones that I want to say before I even was really on. They were on my radar. I was locked in on them.
That's that top 5 right there. Y'all
Yeah,
heard it
top
right here.
5.
Top 5, Mic Handz.
And quietly, man, I do have a bench warmer. That's not no less than any of them. But there was a female in there too, which would have been Latifah.
Queen
Latifah.
Facts.
Yeah.
You and ITY, baby? Who you
she
calling
had,
a bitch?
Yeah. She had Latifah's had it up to here, had me out of here. Like I must have rhymed 1,000 times on that fucking beat. I bought the $4.99 vinyl. It was going hard because the instrumental used to be on the back.
Instrumental, yes. That's why we used to get the singles for the instrumentals.
That's right. And I had a Gemini 15-second sampler. I was terrible. I ruined a lot of records.
Yo, Mike, so we've been anticipating you coming over here. We've been doing our homework, listening to your albums. Me personally, I've been scoping your social media, checking to see what you've been up to. Snooping a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Some stalker shit.
Mama shit. I got you. I'm watching.
So, I got a few pictures over here, and we want the viewers to see them, and we just want you to explain what you're doing.
Okay.
And this is called Searching for Mic Handz.
Oh, word. Shout out Kiss. All right, so salute my partner, Peter. We have a brand called Sneakerhead that I partnered on with him for some time. Now he's kind of, they doing what they doing, and I got some other things going on. But I did a lot of technical design with him during the era that I was there. That jacket Jada's wearing is one of the jackets that I designed.
Oh, shit.
And we had a store that we opened up briefly on Canal Street and Broadway. And Jada came to do an in-store and pick up some goods from us. And he was trying on one of the pieces we gave him, and that's when we shot that. I think I did that leather, too. I think I did the leather. I thought you had the same picture up.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh, you did that leather? The one you're wearing?
Yeah, that's the Sneakerhead. No, that's the leather I did for that's the Def Squad leather.
Oh.
So I did the tour jackets for them too.
Oh,
That's
nice.
real, man. You got your hands in a lot of different places.
We'll get into that, but that's what I did from 9 to 5. I was a menswear designer for quite some time.
All right, the next one is fucking hilarious. Like I said before, talk about it, man.
Yeah. So that was from the conceit video, and Sean, was bugging because he thought he seen me in the shower when he was trying to wash up, but he left like bugging, like I know I'm tripping, and so he went to go get something out the fridge. But when he closed the fridge door, I popped up behind the fridge.
Official, man.
Stay giving it up. You ain't gonna dub me.
Like I said, I like the concept. It's a funny one.
Yeah, but it was crazy when he spun it on me. He turned around and flipped it.
All right, the next one, you really got to elaborate on this one because there's a lot of things going on
That was actually Salute Validated magazine, which I was a part of back then, but I wish them all well. My man Enno's still over there. Salute Real. So they did the photo shoot for my signing to Def Squad. So if you remember, speaking of M, when Eminem when they signed 50, they did a shot on the cover of Double XL with Dre and M and 50 sitting in the front. So I wanted to do my rendition of that for my interview. So I wanted to shoot with Eric, to announce that I had signed the Def Squad. But I didn't realize all the in-house producers were going to be there. So with that, there's Rock Wilder. There was Sean Price. Pardon me, rest in peace, Sean, I hear you. But it was Rock Wilder, Eric Sermon, and Ty Fife. So instead of just doing it with E, it's like, yo, let's line the hallway with all of them and do that. And that's actually a cover shot for that issue.
Dope.
That's heavy right there, man.
And there's a portrait, oil portrait of it. NFT style.
NFTs.
Let's move on to the next one.
Nufta.
Another one. There's a lot of things going on over here. Talk about
Okay,
it.
so
And to your left,
that's
man.
a sneakerhead. That's a sneakerhead jacket that I have on and hat. That's the property of them recordings. So this is my partner Innocent that owned them with me. That was one of our first signees, Jux Diamonds, and we had just dropped a project and we went up to promote it on Premiere show on. So we're up at Sirius XM for that. With Premiere.
Yo, with the legend himself.
Yeah,
Man.
live from headquarters.
Must have been a fun night, right?
Yeah, it's always dope when you get to see. And it happened to be Gangstar's anniversary that night. So when we went down, Primo went and gave us all Gangstar merch out the car. So that was love.
Damn, rest in
Premier
peace.
always show love whenever we drop something. He definitely Premier says it's hot.
You ever got any beats from
I
Preem?
always forget
I
Gru's
have
from Mass.
Yeah,
I always forget that.
Primo, I need joints, man.
Primo's from Houston.
Yeah, originally from Houston.
My last one.
Crazy, man.
You peeped it already.
Oh yeah. So
he took a sneak
that
peek.
night. All right, so there's a bit of backstory on that. So that particular night, we're in Brooklyn. Meg Thee Stallion performed that night. It was a Flex event that happened. Waka popped out on a humble. Nobody knew Waka was going to be there. He wasn't on the bill. Crushed him, though. But to go further, the reason me and Waka have the relationship you can tell we have is because I used to work for Deb Anthony, his mom's, right? So I used to be one of the staff at Mzee. So I ended up being kind of the road manager for her, for Waka, and for Rest in Peace Slim Duncan. So so she didn't always have to run back and forth to New York, right? When she did come to New York, my man Dapper, shout out Dapper, would pick her up at the airport, come to my house, grab me, and then we would go take all the meetings. But she put me in place so that way when she couldn't make it, Dapper would pick up Waka and Slim or whoever it was, and I would run them to do radio, or we shot a video with D Block, so we had to go up to D Block to shoot the video with Kiss and them. Then we had to go, remember Slow Bucks? We had to go over to Slow Bucks.
Slow Bucks, yeah.
And shoot something over there. Then we went up to D Block. So I was just here to do that kind of stuff. And sometimes
Queens
when there
right
was
there.
stylings, I had to go pick up stuff from the different brands with them to take them to pick their stuff up. Sometimes I had French Montana with me because he was with Waka Heavy. So that was, I'm not always on this side of the business. I do a lot off mic too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right.
It seems
Shout
like
out
you're
Waka.
always in the right place at the right time, man.
I got let go though because I rhymed. I was at Deb crib and we was having a Sunday meal, and she called me upstairs and she was, pretty much was like, I hear you rap. I'm like, yeah. She was like, kind of good at it too. I was like, yeah. She said, you might want to pursue that because I don't really know how to do both, right? So
She don't want to hold you back.
Well, I think she felt without saying it, like it was kind of a conflict of interest, like, you know what I mean? And maybe she didn't know how to do the divide, or she didn't understand how that could successfully be done. Meantime, I was very much left hand, right hand. This was work for me. So when I'm at work, I rap. When I'm not at work, you know what I mean? And at the time, Waka and them did a style of music I don't do anyway. So it wasn't a conflict for me. You know what I mean? But I understood and respected. I just spoke to Deb not too long ago. So shout out Deb Anthony. I'm gonna check her next time I get to Atlanta. I always check in on Walker. He always show love. He actually had a doctor for me that he wanted me to check out when he first found out about my kidney.
Oh, okay.
That's love.
Yeah, he's into the whole like holistic and.
Yeah, but we got into some action when I first went down there. There's a video online with the bowling alley got tossed up. Cat Williams was
You gotta
there.
throw some hands.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, one time, that night we was driving up to D Block. He's in one SUV. We in another SUV next to him. We get to the toll booth. He's like, yo, Hands. I'm like, what? He said, that's why I fuck with you, God. Hands put hands on niggas. So that was his thing. But, like, it was love, man. Like, it was my first time down there, first gig with them. Ludacris does a bowling party. Everybody there. Cat Williams, Carl Payne from Martin. Like, it was packed. Everybody was in there. Him and Bo Dill got into something, and the whole shit went left.
Oh shit!
And when you don't know, like, I'm first time down here, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know nobody.
I don't know who's who. So whoever was moving weird, I just got close to moms. Like, whoever was moving weird, catch a bomb. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, everybody was getting it.
That
it's
right
funny
there,
because when
searching for Mic Handz, y'all.
look,
We
when they
found him.
finally got us out, Walker like, yo, Hands, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He said, yo, where they put my chicken sandwich? I'll never forget that. That was hilarious to me.
You ever found it?
I don't know. I was get me the hell out of here. I don't know what's happening. So I went to my rental and I put that shit in the GPS and went back to the hotel. Because we had the shout out Machine Gun Kelly. We had the Walker and Machine Gun Kelly video shoot the next day. So we had a lot going on that weekend.
Shit.
Wouldn't think a little dude from Brooklyn was doing all that.
Wow, there's a lot, man. You got a lot of stories.
Yeah, it's weird being out here. You'd be surprised some of the things you find yourself into. Like, I have no clue how this happened. Just go with it.
Shit.
All I know is that my man Arup has been doing a lot of research on your lyrics and running back the tape.
Okay.
And you know, we got a lot more in store. So we got so much shit that we're gonna have to cut it.
I love
Part
it.
2, right?
Come back. Yeah, man. Let's
Yeah.
We back, y'all. Stay tuned.
Acclaim is critical, though this game is getting difficult. Check my peripheral vision to monitor these criminals. To my stated decisions and switch up all my rituals. Tailor making provisions in cases this shit get difficult. Hammers and bangers, I'm tucking balls like planes and hangers. I'm running with cliques of strangers that get stranger when they anger. My people by tropic, they harness heat like solar optics. They radiate in the medieval with thunder in their pockets. If paper's the topic, movements become as microscopic as any virus that enters your system. You can't stop it. Defying the logics of life, therefore defying gravity. Applying the proper procedure to hover and cavity.